If you're a parent who only relies on life insurance through work, you're putting your family at severe risk. In this video, I'm going to show you why life insurance through your work is not enough and what you could do to better protect your family. So what is your life insurance through work actually? Well, first off, it's group life insurance, which means you don't need a medical exam to get. Secondly, it's about 1 to 3 times your annual salary in terms of coverage. So if you were to pass away, your family would get 1 to 3 times of what you make. Secondly, your employer tends to pay for this. So typically it's fully paid by them, which can be a nice perk. Companies will use this for retention purposes. But lastly, and the most important point, you don't own this. Your employer owns this. So why did I say you'll be at risk if you only rely on this? Well, let's take a look at an actual example. Let's say you are making about $85,000 a year, and maybe you have 2 kids, you have a house, maybe you have some medical debt, you have education costs that you want to pay for your kids. Well, if you were to pass away, your family would just get $85,000. How long would that actually last them? It's not going to pay down your mortgage. It's not going to pay down your debt, and it won't allow your family to live a life without any interruptions. What you need at minimum is 10 to 12 times your salary. That's a minimum case. If you have multiple kids, that's going to be more. If you have a mortgage, you're going to need to add more to pay down the mortgage. And if you have debt, you're going to need more to pay down that debt. You don't want to leave all that debt and expenses down to your family if something were to happen to you. Hence, your life insurance from work giving you just 1 times your salary is simply not enough to actually protect your family. Now, another thing you need to be aware of, since you don't own this policy and your employer owns it, if you were to quit or get fired, in most cases, the policy would be gone. You would not have access to it and you can't take it with you. There are some cases where you can convert the policy into an individual policy. The only problem with that is when you convert it, you have to convert it into a whole life policy. What that means is if this policy were to cost originally in a term, be a temporary policy, $30 a month, a whole life might cost you about $400 a month. So you may be paying $400 a month for a policy that only gives you a benefit of about 85 grand if you were to pass away. That's not real protection for your family. You need a lot more than just that 85,000, and you shouldn't be paying $400 a month for just that amount. You're paying it at a high markup at that point. Another point to consider is your health. So this is a group policy that you have via the work, which means that there is no medical exam necessary, which is a nice to have in the sense that it's a free policy for you. But if you're in your 30s, this kind of masks your insurability, because let's say you are working for this company and 35 comes around, you're still working for them, but you get diagnosed. Maybe you get high blood pressure, or you have sleep apnea, or you get diagnosed with depression. Well, if you leave the company a year later and can't take the policy with you and you want to get your own, well, now that you have this medical diagnoses, you may not be able to qualify anymore for the best rates out there. Now you may be looking at paying 22% more for the same kind of policy that you could have had you gotten it earlier in your life before your medical diagnosis. So it gives you a false sense of security because you're able to get this policy without any medical exam initially when you got the group policy from your work. Definitely your health is your biggest asset when it comes to life insurance. You want to get your policies when you're young and healthy and not wait after you get hit with a diagnosis to go searching for one. And with the group policy, if you're just relying on that, you need to stop immediately and apply for your own to have that one that is yours and not anybody else's, and that can go with you anywhere you choose to go. Don't wait for you to get fired or lose your job or to have a life change. You need to do it before any of that happens. Now, if you found this video helpful, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe. I'll have more life insurance information topics on this channel as we continue to build and grow.